Why wouldn't I speak to Black Chicago? Why wouldn't I?
The U.S. Department of Justice now taking aim at the city of Chicago's hiring practices in the form of a civil rights investigation.
There are some detractors that will push back on me and say, the only thing that the mayor talks about is the hiring of black people.
Someone who grew up on the south side of Chicago, I've heard a lot of race hustlers in my life, trust me, but they were usually marching around outside of City Hall.
Infrastructure deputy mayor is a black woman. Chief operations officer is a black man. Budget director is a black woman. Senior advisor is a black man.
Real Chicagoans want to know, why are you a racist?
Yes, in the face! So as you can see, Mayor Brandon Johnson is in trouble. This is the woke mayor out of Chicago, Illinois.
Flashback.
For the extremism in this country to use people as political tools to settle political scores for something that happened 400 years ago. They're still mad that a black man is free in this country.
Oh my God. This is one of the most prominent individuals that was well known and made famous for prioritizing illegal migrants over the local communities, including the black community, the one that he panders to, and now he's trying to pretend to cater to. He always talks a big game about how he's going to support the black community, and he really never does. But when he does talk about it, he talks about supporting the community in ways that would be considered illegal, as you saw in the intro to this video. But now the DOJ is opening up a criminal investigation into this woke behind mayor. It's about freaking time. Take a look.
The U.S. Department of Justice now taking aim at the city of Chicago's hiring practices in the form of a civil rights investigation. This comes after remarks Mayor Brandon Johnson made at a Southside church on Sunday, where the mayor shared his vision for the rest of his term. He emphasized education, public safety, and equity, while also highlighting his diverse administration.
There are some detractors that will push back on me and say, the only thing that the mayor talks about is the hiring of black people. No, what I'm saying is, when you hire our people, we always look out for everybody else. We are the most generous people on the planet.
The federal enforcement agency says it was Johnson's comments highlighting the number of black officials in his administration that prompted this investigation.
Business and Economic Neighborhood Development, the deputy mayor is a black woman. Department of Planning and Development is a black woman. Infrastructure deputy mayor is a black woman. Chief operations officer is a black man. Budget director is a black woman. Senior advisor is a black man.
Assistant Attorney General Harmeet Dillon stating in the letter in part, if these kinds of hiring decisions are being made for top-level positions in your administration, then it begs the question whether such decisions are also being made for lower-level positions. The mayor's office responding in a statement saying in part, Mayor Johnson is proud to have the most diverse administration in the history of our city. Our administration reflects the diversity and values of Chicago. Unfortunately, the current federal administration does not reflect either. Meanwhile, city leaders also weighing in.
Hearing what he said and seeing this investigation taking part, unfolding today, I think validates the concerns many people have throughout the city of Chicago that this isn't a mayor for everyone.
The mayor's office says its staff is aware of the letter, but are still awaiting official receipt. From there, it will head to the city's legal department.
Of course, he's going to say that, oh, this is just baseless. This is some sort of political persecution. That's what I love, how all the radical leftists were clamoring for political persecution of Donald Trump. They were happy as hell about it, unapologetic. They did not care. But now all of a sudden, people that President Trump probably doesn't even really know. Maybe he's heard their name, but I highly doubt he has enough time to sit around watching the YouTube videos like I do about all of these woke mayors and governors. I'm sure he knows some of them, but give me a freaking break. He doesn't know every single thing to where he's going to want to politically persecute every freaking Democrat that exists. What Democrat politician hasn't talked smack about Donald Trump? Hell, a bunch of Republican politicians have talked crap about Trump. If he went after every political enemy he had, this man would go to his last days just going after his political opponents. Obviously, that's not what happened, because he keeps doing amazing things. But these dummies don't care. That's going to be their legal defense, apparently, or maybe their PR defense, because obviously that doesn't work. Imagine if you just said, well, hey, the cops just really don't like me. They're persecuting me. The judge is persecuting me. So even though there's this mountain of evidence against me, I'm being politically persecuted, and just ignore all the evidence because these people are just racist against me. They're targeting me for political reasons. No. I don't think that that's going to hold up with any jury or any judge that's not some sort of partisan hack. Now, this mayor was confronted to his face. This is the part that I have not seen. Now, I've heard about this, but I didn't actually get a chance to see it. So I'm excited to see this man get cooked and try to pretend and play it off as if he's not completely humiliated. Let's get into it.
This is finally investigating your race hustle. As
Starting
someone
off
who
with a
grew
bang.
up on the south side of Chicago, I've heard a lot of race hustlers in my life, trust me. But they were usually marching around outside of City Hall, which is what makes this so embarrassing and dangerous. Very, very dangerous to the city of Chicago.
Okay, we need the question.
I'm more than happy to ask this question. It's long overdue. For over a year, real Chicagoans, white and black, have been telling me that your black power rhetoric is bringing the city backwards from a place that
We need the question.
had overcome. You want the question?
Please.
Real Chicagoans want to know, why are you a racist?
Well, first of all, I reject the idea and the premise that somehow that's an actual legitimate question.
You want that?
All right, we're going to go to the next one. Alice?
The next question, my follow-up question is a businessman, Robert Gomez, had his riverfront restaurant license yanked. You said that the reason you hire black people is because they're the most generous race on the planet.
Some detractors that will push back on me and say, the only thing that the mayor talks about is the hiring of black people. No, what I'm saying is when you hire our people, we always look out for everybody else.
That's cap and you know it.
We are the most generous people on the planet. I don't know too many cultures that have play cousins. That's how generous we are. We just make somebody a family member, right? This is how we are.
His riverfront restaurant license was yanked and given to a black restaurateur. That has, once again, reinforced the belief among real Chicagoans,
Okay.
white and black
We need
and
the
Mexican,
question.
that you are a racist. What do you say to those people?
Again, I reject the premise that somehow that your question has any legitimacy. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you. We'll go to Alice.
Wow. Sheesh, man. Look, you could tell he's burning up inside because he just wants to clap back so hard. But he knows it's the truth. I mean, this is a guy who was busted illegitimately allocating funds for a special office for his wife. I mean, these people are so freaking corrupt. This guy gave massive amounts of money. I can't remember if it was millions or billions, what it be. But he gave so much money to illegal migrants, refuses to get rid of sanctuary status, doesn't even humor the idea, and somehow convince a bunch of black folks, hey, it's all good that I give all the money that was intended for you guys, that we promised we're going to rebuild your torn down communities for decades. And we just take all that money that we always pretended we never had, and we just give it all to illegal migrants.
Has been under-resourced, underfunded for years, for decades. We have schools that need to be reopened. We have buildings that are abandoned that need to be business operated.
The group says the city has abandoned its Invest Southwest initiative, a Lightfoot-era program that was dedicated to reversing decades of disinvestment on Chicago's South and West sides, promising to align more than $2.2 billion through public and private funding.
We are taxpayers, we're property owners. Our money should go towards fixing our communities.
But do you think that him prioritizing black businesses and construction companies and projects and all these things that he's talking about is considered illegal? Or do you think he's somehow within his rights. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
Every single dime that our people have been robbed of, I want to make sure that that is returned 2-3-fold.